In trading, people talk about strategies, indicators, entries, and exits. But the real battlefield isn't the chart. It's your mind. The difference between a frustrated trader and a consistently profitable trader is not more knowledge. It's emotional mastery. Today, we talk about something misunderstood by many traders. Detaching emotionally from your trades. Not because you don't care. Not because you're cold or indifferent. But because true strength appears when you're no longer controlled by the outcome. This is where traders separate from gamblers. This is where growth begins. What is emotional detachment? Emotional detachment does not mean you don't value your money. It does not mean you're careless or numb. And it definitely does not mean ignoring losses or pretending they don't hurt. Emotional detachment means this. Your trading decisions are no longer driven by excitement, fear, revenge, or ego. It is the ability to say, "This trade is just one of 1,000. It doesn't define me." It is the ability to execute your plan even when your emotions scream for you to do the opposite. It is acting from a place of clarity, not reactivity. Professional traders don't feel nothing. They just don't let their feelings decide the next click. Why most traders get attached to trades? Why is detachment so difficult? Because every trade triggers emotional impulses deeply wired into human nature. When you open a trade, your brain interprets it as a risk to survival. Profit feels like safety, loss feels like threat. And suddenly, you're no longer a strategic trader. You're a biological human reacting to danger. Traders attach emotionally because they want to be right. Being wrong feels like an attack on identity. They want to recover losses immediately. Revenge trading is emotional attachment disguised as confidence. They want excitement. Many traders are unconsciously addicted to dopamine spikes. They risk money they can't comfortably lose. Attachment grows from fear. When your self-worth depends on the outcome of a single trade, detachment becomes impossible. Detachment is a form of strength. Emotional detachment is not about removing emotions. It's about building emotional resilience. When you detach, you step into strength. 1. You trade based on logic, not hope. A detached trader doesn't pray for a candle to turn around. They follow the plan. 2. You accept uncertainty as normal. Every trade has risk. Detachment means embracing that truth instead of fighting it. 3. You become consistent. Because your decisions no longer swing with your feelings. 4. You gain mental clarity. Clarity brings discipline. Discipline brings profitability. 5. You protect your emotional capital. Losing money hurts. But losing emotional stability destroys your account. Detachment is strength because it shields you from self-sabotage. Detachment versus indifference. Many traders fear detachment because they think it means not caring. But there is a clear difference. Indifference. You don't care about your performance. You don't review your mistakes. You take random trades. You gamble. You avoid responsibility. Detachment. You care deeply about long-term success. You follow your strategy. You track your mistakes with honesty. You respect risk. You accept outcomes without emotional collapse. Indifference destroys traders. Detachment builds them. Detachment means, I care enough about my future that I refuse to let a single trade control my emotions. How to practice emotional detachment. 1. Reduce your position size. Most emotional problems vanish when you lower your risk. Small size equals small emotional pressure. 2. Set rules before you open a trade. Entry. Stop loss. Take profit. Maximum loss. Time limit. Once your rules are set, there is nothing to feel. There is only execution. 3. Use journaling to separate fact from emotion. After each trade, write what I saw, what I felt, what I did, what I learned. The moment you write your emotions, they lose power over you. 4. Accept losses as part of the business. Losses aren't personal. They're operational costs, like fuel to a truck. You cannot trade without them. 5. Stop watching the chart after entering. Watching every pip increases emotional attachment. Set alerts. Walk away. 6. Treat each trade as one part of a bigger system. Your success is measured over hundreds of trades, not one. 7. Build a life outside of trading. A trader whose entire identity is trading becomes emotionally fragile. Balance builds stability. Stability builds detachment. How detachment transforms your trading. When you detach emotionally, something powerful happens. Losses stop defining your mood. Wins stop inflating your ego. You follow your plan with calm confidence. You become patient. You become selective. You become disciplined. You stop chasing the market and start understanding it. You stop trying to force profits and let the probabilities play out. At this point, trading becomes less stressful and more strategic. This is when consistency appears. Conclusion. Emotional detachment is not about being cold. It's about being strong. It's not about not caring. It's about caring in a healthier way. Trading becomes powerful when you realize you control your actions. The market controls the outcome. And the stronger your detachment, the clearer your decisions, the better your discipline, and the more consistent your results. Detachment is not indifference. It is mastery. It is the silent edge that separates amateurs from professionals. Master yourself, and the market can no longer master you. If this episode gave you something to think about, subscribe and see you in the next episode.